Oh, hope you're well. Welcome to the workshop here. Long bag. Yeah. It's a beauty. It's a hell of an asset to combat martial artists and more so karate and the conditioning of Kyokushin and so forth. So I'm going to go through a nice workshop / treat it, whatever you want it to call it, seminar, whatever it is. So it'll go for I'm aiming for 15 odd minutes. That's how long the process goes through, and I build it in that good, better, best phase. So I hope you're stretched up. Obviously, we're going to be kicking, we're going to be punching, we're going to be doing knees. So there's a whole mixture of things here. So if you're watching it the first time, sit back, relax. I'll do all the hard work, but when you start getting stuck into it, please, there's lots of rules, there's lots of conditions, there's lots of principles in this. I've built this over the last 16 years or so from when I was brown belt onwards. So, when the full contact side of it started to build, I really invested a lot of time and effort on the long bag in our dojo at Shihan Billy's dojo. All right, so here we go. All right, so first exercise that I even show my fighters is just a straight up Girawashigeri low roundhouse kick. But what we're doing here is we're trying to work towards the shin, obviously getting most of the impact, but with it we are stepping off on the 45 and starting to get our body posture right. And by doing that, we step off to the 45. As we do that, we are aiming for the shin and our foot to go around, but the shin to get most of the contact. But with that happening, our hands have to tap. So we tap on our other arm here, and we throw the whip on our kicking leg. So it looks like this. So we go ich, knee, sun, like that. Now, the reason I was doing that count was so you could see that the control of the kick is very important. You don't just want to kick, ich, knee, see that gap? So you're building a good routine, good rhythm behind what you're doing here. And you've got the control of your balance, you've got rhythm, you're going to build on your accuracy, you've got your timing and your speed. There's Bratz from Shihan, Cameron, Quinn there. So from here, we're going with a set of 10. So watch how we do it. Make sure you aim off to the 45. Make sure your leg goes around. Tap your forehead with the opposite hand. You don't want to get too slack and lazy on bag work routines and then envisage a Mawashi coming at you. And while that's happening, you've got to stay with your knees bent, all right? And try not to look too much down. They're the other rules as well. Don't look down too much every time you're kicking. Okay, come on, here we go. So I'll do 10 here. Here we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, chu. Okay, there's that side, and then you alternate to the other side. And you can do it, I'm doing it on this angle for filming purposes. So, just showing here, I move off on the 45. Okay, off on the 45. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, chu. You should be walking away from it, having a dot, dot marks in there. The more comfortable you get, the more you're going to understand how that works in your favour, that defensive pattern. Okay, so the Girawashigeri just gets us warmed up, doesn't it? And then from there, I move into Chura Mawashi. Same concept. But with Chura Mawashi, my emphasis here, because of the bag, is not to get my knee on the outside of the bag. My knee has to be in the center of the bag. So if I was to lift it up, I want to be able to get my knee into there, not knee out there with the kick, not out there. So watching. So the aim is to get the knee across like a defensive asset to your kick as well. Okay, so we just move into there, off of 45. Don't just stand here and kick. All right, so we move in like this. Ich, knee, san. Make sure you're tapping. Go. There, like so. We do it on the other side, get to 10. But from here as well, same motion. Okay. Just slightly off to the 45. Okay. Get the leg across. Focus on your taps. Don't look down too much. Look at the chest or the forehead of the opponent or the bag for now. Okay, while we're doing this, rotate through. The other key, doesn't have to be 1000% just yet. Have control of what you're doing. Have balance, have rhythm, have accuracy, timing, speed. They'll all come. They'll all have to find. That's why it takes a long time to get going and to get better at. So from here, Chura Mawashi, ich, ni, san, chi, go, roko. Okay, there's that. So Giran, Churan. I don't move to Jordan yet. We save that while we're a little bit more agile, a little bit warmed up. Okay, so from here, I go into a double Giran. So we treat it with a rear switch Giran. Okay, so watching Mawashi, comes back, switch, left leg Mawashi. And then we just hold the bag like so. Watching. And then you hold it there. Okay, now all the rules have to kick in. If you're going on the 45, great. If you're not, you've got to be cautious of the straight attack. So you've got to be angling it a bit. So ich, bang, switch, boom. Slowly, you'll see how you move with the bag. You move with the bag. The more you do. There's a nice set there. Then you can practice on the other side. You can do 5 there, 10 there, whichever. So from the opposite leg, mote, changing. So you do the Giran, comes back, switch, opposite Giran. All right? Okay, and you take your time. You don't need to hit the bag hard just yet. So each, 1, 2, and then move. Knee. That's fine. Okay, so there's that. Next one, and then you can move that into Chura Mawashi. So Chura Mawashi, 1, comes in, switch, Chura Mawashi. Watch again. Okay, up, bring it back, switch, boom, Chura Mawashi. Watching, here we go. Hey, ish. And down. Knee. Like so. And you can work your way up again. 5, take your time on each side. I get my guys to do 10 on each side, and then we alternate. All right? So there, we've covered Giran, Churan, double Giran, double Churan. Okay, nice and agile, get a bit of rhythm. Okay, so from here, we go into our under. And our under here is very, very dangerous. This is the inside thigh component of Kyokushin, where we take the risk because we're close combat, close fighters, and we can commit into the opponent without the risk of elbow, face punch. However, we're in the risk of a hizageri, a knee, coming up to our chin, our nose, our head. So the inside thigh here, while you're practicing it, you cannot be sloppy. You cannot practice bad habits here. Ever. Not just here. So in doing so, we're aiming for that inside thigh. However, we are conditioning the part of our foot from the top part to about 2 inches up to this part of the shin. Okay? That whole part there. Like you would where you would kick a football or a soccer ball. So in here, you've got to be very careful how hard the bag is, the long bag, or how low it is from the ground. Be very careful of your toes and so forth. This is a very, very good conditioning drill if you take your time and be patient. So I'll show you the tempo to begin with. Okay? You're just driving in like this. Ich, ni, san, chi. Now see how I'm moving my hands? Always. Maybe my head was a bit down too much. So you aim for a certain number. Yep, it's going to hurt. It's going to be pushing all these ligaments, and it's going to be pushing the tendons all around your ankle, top of your foot. It is very, very vulnerable. However, so is kicking someone when their knee drops or when you kick inside thigh. Okay? But conditioning the foot and the shin is very important. So it gets to a point where that level there was maybe a 5. And then once you get more and more confident, it should be a bit harder. But see how the bag comes back to me? That's nice. Nice timing. It's not. And then trying to touch it. No, just continue your rhythm. Nice rhythm. Then, opposite leg, right? From here, just in that motion. And you'll control it there. Then you get into a nice... See how the bag works for me? Beautiful. Nice, just enough. And you reach up to 10, or you maintain again what your number is. How you improve? You got to feel it. You got to understand it. You got to listen to where things are happening. You got to have a look at where your shin and the top of your foot and how it's all responding with what you've just done. Like I tell my students, if you start feeling a hot spot on there, and a hot spot meaning, you know how people do a bit of this and go, start touching something there, abort. It's too risky, too fragile top there, and you've got to condition it and grow with it as best you can. So there's that one for the low of the foot there as well. Very nice, very good routine, nice routine. Then we do a double on the same side, and the double on the same side can be double Gira Mawashi, a Giran, Churan, a Churan, Giran. Okay, I'll say it again. Double Gira Mawashi, a double, a Giran, Churan, or a Churan, Giran. That's a set there. So each count, you have those three options. Each count. So if you're a trainer or you're the coach and you just yell out, H! So whoever, you have to train your fighters or your students or your class to not just monkey see, monkey do. Not all the time, especially with conditioning and working on the long bag. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyable. Those first blocks there were to condition you as best you can. So here, I might yell out, itch, and then I go, Gidan, Chudan. I might yell out, Ni, Chudan, Gidan. I might yell out, San, Gidan, Gidan. Okay, now, all those concepts, all those principles I said at the start, moving off on the 45, getting your leg across, tapping your head, don't look down too much. Bend your knees, get the shin and the foot wrapped around the bag. Don't just kick with the foot like that. Bad news. Not good. Not good. Not good for anyone. Doesn't help. All right? I won't go into too much detail. Just think broken foot. Okay, so there's that set as well. So we call it doubles, and you can position it on up to 10, and you can do whichever one you want. It's a fun set. Okay, then you do it on the left side too. Giran, 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 Churan, Churan, Giran. Okay, then that set there, that's good. It helps to feel the bag, get a good hit. Then you play a little bit better. But by playing better, you don't need to smash it. You don't have to hit it hard. You have to speed. So from here, you can play back leg doubles, I call it. So think of tennis acronym. So you got doubles here on the back leg, so we can go fast like this. So just and practice your speed. Right? And you'll slowly feel, am I kicking it too much with the foot, or should I be kicking it more with the shin? All these little things start to find their place. And then you've got the back leg. Hello. You've got your front leg now. Play speed again. Okay? So that, oh, there's two. You can play. Slowly, if you want to introduce Jordan, go for your life. If you're feeling comfortable by now, the Jordan comes up close or long. If it's long, bang, don't bring it back. Okay, the concept there is boom, boom, straight down. Next one, Gidan, Chudan, boom, control. Gidan, Chudan, boom. And keep playing. Count to 10. That was 2, then 3, right? As a count. And then, mote, change. Left side. Go again, doubles. Okay, lighter. Right, come back. Good. And then doubles again on lighter butt, front foot forward. Now you start to see, I just gambled then with my foot. That's me doing probably the rear Mawashi, the rear back leg kick here on someone. However, again, don't practice those bad habits. Up they go. So there's another nice little add to the big bag. These are all little things that I've just continued to develop and continue to add on and feel how the workshop just builds itself and builds itself and builds itself. And then I've only got 10 minutes to do bag work. Great. Start with what I showed you. You'll get through 10 minutes on your count. I've got 15. Okay, cool. Start to add a bit more. Add a bit more like that speed exercise I just showed then, or the doubles. And we haven't even got to knees. We haven't even got to hands yet. So there you have it. There's mostly with kicks. The best scenario now is when you start throwing a shurugeri, back kick, and follow up. So Shurageri back kick has some really beautiful, Joe Rogan is probably, everyone knows that in respect of how he's a Shurageri. He's just beautiful. Great timing, great speed, great positioning of his body posture and all the above. I'll show you some of the sets from here. Okay, so front foot forward, left foot forward, and just playing that Shurageri back and then just dabbling like so. You see how my posture just ended? That's the reason I did it. So just to position it, come back. You can go with the foot, the heel. You start to just, you've got to keep feeling it out and you've got to take your time. That's that motion. But then there is the stat. So that's just at a certain speed and pace. But now there's that best level, which is the bounce, 2 feet application, 2 feet together moving, boom, and then coming back. And then you'll see your speed level change, but do not miss. Do not go for speed and miss. Don't do that, all right? Take your time and try and build your accuracy, but double feet now. Double, boom. Has a little bit of a jump like the Taekwondo. That's why Joe Rogan's so good with his Taekwondo days. They're exceptional, they're Taekwondo guys with their Shurageri. Notice I've started in this range before I've moved up to being a bit greedy. I'm just maintaining, trying to build that accuracy, speed as I go. Balance, all right? As you get better, then I feel then the Mawashi, the spinning around with the hook heel kick, the spinning around closer, finding your distance here, using your hand to boom, and you can use the back of the foot, heel of the foot, various motions. But a Shurageri, spinning back, heel kick back, is where the next one goes. And then you've got to practice the other side, right? So then you start to go to the left side, bang, you just dabble a bit, stretch it out, see where the bag is, dabble a bit, and then you pick up that double footwork from here, boom, and you play it again. Then, you cannot just do one Shurageri and be happy with that. So we're in the Shurageri, bang, learn how to bring it back. Once you learn how to bring it back, switch, Giran, Chura, Joran. So the exercise goes like this. So we're here, I do the kick, bang, I bring it back, boom. And that's just routine repetition. I go again, bang, comes in, boom, Jordan. And then keep practicing. And I'm not doing it at 1,000%. Trying to keep my rhythm going. I don't want the bag to do massive hits like that just yet, unless you've got a different why, which is what we talk about in the mindset motivation stuff. Why are you doing this? Why are you giving this 20 minutes of your day? What's happening? Where are you at? What's going on? If you're there to let out steam, sure, that's an angle, but it's not really, applicable, right? You're only going to hurt yourself or hurt someone else thus far with something untoward, more so your wrist, your foot, your shin. So you've got to stay focused on the game here with the big boy, with the big man. Okay, so there's some of our legs, okay? Now we go into our knee exercise. Knees can flow in standard, right? Standard meaning our Kyokushin knees have that nice rhythm to it because we're close again. We're not worried about a hiji coming at us or a fist punch to the face. So we get in a bit close and we start to play the hiza. Now, there's the side of the knee hiza. There's the top of the knee hiza, where the Thai guys are exceptional at, where they ram that knee in like so, boom, into the floating rib. So you're practicing the hiza, you have to have a couple of principles. So mine is, obviously when the hizas you might see in UFC or Muay Thai, nice long distance because they've got to be cautious and aware of the punch, of the elbow. So they push out that knee and have that range, that distance. Kyokushin, I feel, or in full contact karate, where we're not punching the face, we're not worried about a grapple, we're not worried about that exchange. Very cheeky. So let's just do it in tiers. Hip bone, then rib. So there's a gap there of about 6 inches or so, and then from there you move your way up to the chin side of the chin, or obviously around the facial area there. Very dangerous. Okay, so hip bone, rib, and face. So from here, hip bone is just that standard straight into the side like so, or moving forward into the hip bone like so, keeping your hands up again. And we play. I call it scrimmage. Just scrimmage around, move around. Just get your routine going. So it's not flat-footed. It's not with your posture, just you've got to continue a bit of balance, a bit of movement. If you move around the bag, that's fine. It's a good way to do it too. And just keep moving, keep moving. And then you're playing the hip. Then you've got the knee, the rib area here. A little bit higher. So a little bit higher, boom, now you're starting to play a little bit dirty. Or slash, you know, again, what's my why in it? So I could do Shatuski, could be punching high here. And then as they buckle down, pop it into the knee. You could be moving someone's arm here. They punch, move into the knee, into the rib. So there's that motion. Now, the key to the some of these is also my posture and my distance. So I was showing you a bit more there to see where I was at. Was I here doing the knee with my chest? No. Was I approximately in a comfortable spot after doing my warm-up set? Yeah. So here you're starting to feel for, again, Kyokushin, if you've doing Kyokushin, full contact karate, we can come in closer. If you're in a different style, you obviously have to be aware of your clinch game here and where you're positioning, and talk to your Muay Thai kickboxing coaches. The knee is fantastic, so deadly. Okay, so we've just positioned it again towards where you're comfortable, what style you're doing. However, then we've got from the hip to the rib, now we start to play a little bit higher. So we see where my chest is on the knee. I'm about here, I'm about, a foot or foot and a half away, and I can position the knee into the hip. Once I move up to the rib, I've got to bring in that range a little bit closer, and I can start penetrating more onto the rib here, moving, coming in closer and jamming the rib cage up. Now I've got to go up to here. Okay, so now my footwork changes massively. I might be in a lot more in respect of if it's a opponent where it's a tight fight and it's in close, you've got to tactically start to position yourself with your hands. You've got to be cautious of your own chin. And then this is where the exercise works, is just skimming it for now, just learning how to throw the leg up, the knee up, toes down, and starting to maybe jump, or just keeping your foot down and throwing it up. But if it's a Toby jump, boom. Now, the trick is where my chest is. Where my chest is and where my head is. My head isn't here, my chest is. It does work, but we're practicing a drill here. So you're trying to get as close as you can with it for the exercise, okay? I'll show it here. So from here, all right, so you could be here, and I'm right next to it. Or, little by little, you start positioning your head and your chest to the side and start sliding it up. Boom. Okay, you've got that option too. Then you've got a real cool option. Again, why are we doing this? What's happening? What's running through? Is in that long range. Things could be happening. A rib kick happens. A low kick happens. The posture of the opponent starts to buckle a bit. And then a Toby jumping. So like I call it the flight. So the flight runway has to be in that motion. Not up to the roof. Flight. Like a plane flying off the tarmac. And coming in like that. The things could be happening. Check, 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 balance. Boom. Okay, then that flight motion can also be achievable for the hip bone and for the rib, and then up to there. So imagine positioning a couple of these bad boys into someone's hip. So we're there, we're just scrimmaging, moving around. You don't need to always hit the bag, you just distance management, boom, and then it goes straight into the hip. Then you've got different distance now, 3 have gone in there, and then out to the side punch, boom, a flying knee to the floating rib in there. We come in here, the flight happens again. You might be going back from all your punching and aggression. The ropes are here. The corner of the mat, the outside of the mat is there. And boom, up it goes. And it can go straight into the chin. So there's some more on the knees. Okay, as you can see, it takes up a bit of time, doesn't it? So